Hello, friends. It is Christina Reese here from Creating with Christina, and welcome to Fun Fold Friday. Today, I have an exciting 3D card for you. Um, it's a window box card. The card folds flat to mail, but when it is opened up, it pops up to a I can't even speak, shadow box style card. It is just perfect for showcasing layered scenes such as the gorgeous sunrise sailboat stamp set. Oh my gosh, let me share this with you. It is so beautiful. So this is the stamp, but it comes with an embossing folder that also, it's a hybrid embossing folder because it's got dies. One of my dies is falling off already, but this die right here fits inside the folder and cuts that little sailboat out. But then it's also got other sailboat pieces, cloud pieces, bird pieces, water waves, all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to be using that. Here is what the card looks like. Isn't that so cute? I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see the embossed sailboat in the back. Fun, huh? And it's a window box card. Cool, huh? All right. Well, let's switch cameras here so that we can get started. All righty. Make sure I don't forget anything. Got my notes here. All right. What we're going to be using today, the sailboat die, the wavy edge. So we've got all that. Okay. Whoops, my card over here. Here are the wavy edges. Okay. We're going to do the embossing folder. We've got designer paper. Now, my designer paper, oddly enough, I wanted this wavy paper, but this wavy paper isn't really it's in a travel pack. It's in this paper here. So I want to use this really cool wavy paper. I thought that would be great for the card. So it's in this travel pack paper. And then as I was looking at the paper, I saw the beautiful gingham here. It's not gingham, plaid. I'm sorry, plaid. So I wanted to use those. I thought that was really pretty. Put all this away. Don't need any of that. Okay. And what else do we need? And then the congratulations. So we're just going to put congratulations on there. I've got winners galore. And so I like sending a congratulations card to my team members that earn highest sales each month. And so I need to get those cards and those gifts sent out. Speaking of teams, remember, joining Stampin' Up! Is always awesome because one, you get a discount. You always get 20% off your product when you purchase. But the other one is because of the crafting community. Team members are so awesome. And we get to go to convention together, do stuff together. So it's a lot of fun to be on a Stampin' Up! Team. And if you ever consider it, I would love for you to consider my team. All right, let's get started on the card. So the base, we are going to have 2 pieces of cardstock. One I'm going to do in the Summer Splash. Okay, that was our new in color last year. And then the other piece is just white cardstock, which I need to grab another piece real quick. Oh, come here. Well, actually, this piece will work. This is a piece that I had folded to make a gatefold, but I'm going to use that because you always want to try to use scraps when you can. All right, so we've got all of that. What else do we need? We need a scoring tool. All right, so let's get out our cutting, embossing, scoring. It's not embossing. It's only scoring and cutting tool. Here we go. Now, like I said, they're 5.5. But they're only 6 1/4 long, okay? So only 6 1/4, not 8 1/2. So when you cut a piece of cardstock in half, it's 5.5 by 8.5. So we need to cut this down to 6 1/4. Okay, right there. And then change blades, and we're going to score. First, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. And then we're going to score at 1 inch. And we're going to do this with the white paper also, with the white cardstock. So I will get that in. Go in here in just a sec. Let me finish this one. 1/2 and then inch. So that's pretty simple. All right, so let's do that again. Now, like I said, this was cut like this. And because I know I need a 1/2 inch and an inch, uh, I am going to take this score mark and put it at 1 inch. There we go. I know that's very, very weird. This is not a part of the regular instructions. This is just if you have scrap paper. Okay, so then you score it at 1/2 inch. Okay, right there. And then score it at 1 inch, but it's already scored there for me. Then I need to do that again on this side. So 1 inch. All right, so we're going to score at 1/2 inch and then score at 1 inch. Now, remember, this piece measures 5.5 by 6 1/4. All right, and then these little 1/2 inch sections will fold and be glued together to create the window box. All right, so that's pretty easy, huh? Awesome. All right, hopefully that didn't confuse you. Next. I need the this inside embossed. Okay. The thing is that I want my sailboat kind of in the center. No problems. Right there. All right. So actually it works pretty good. But yeah, make sure everything's lined up. All right. And that's okay if it doesn't emboss the whole thing because all of that part will be hiding. It's going to be glued and hiding. All right, let me take it to my embossing machine real quick. Perfect. Okay, so we've got this part now. This is going to fold forward and then fold back. All right, so this is the white piece, and it gets folded forward and then back. And like I said, this part is going to have glue on it, so you're not going to see that part. And this side is tucked inside the card. It's okay that it's embossed. It looks great. Now, for our splash, on this card, I did not put a frame around it. I just cut the thing out. So I want to change this card up a bit. This needs to be cut at 4 1/4. All right, it is cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right, it needs a little trimming. Hold on. 5 1/2. There we go. All right, so this is going to cover the entire front, but I want part of the summer splash showing right here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one out. So how I did it originally, let me grab my corners. These are the old countryside corners. Dies, they should still be available. If they're not, you can always find them on Etsy or something, but I think they're pretty still available. So I'm going to cut the I've totally drawn a blank now. The designer paper out. Nope, not that big. That would take up all the designer paper. All right, here we go. This piece, yep. And then after we cut that out and we glue it on, we're going to cut the card space out with this, and it'll leave that summer splash around there. Okay, it's going to leave a smaller opening for you to see the sailboat inside, but I think that's still going to look fine. All right, so let's put this on here and cut it with the die cutting machine. Now, depending on what kind of designer paper you have, this just depends on, not designer paper. The designer paper is fine. It's depending on what shape you have. There you go. You'll want a shape that nests. These are nesting dies. They stack on top of each other, the exact same shape, but they're just smaller. All right, so now we're going to glue this on here, and then we'll cut that piece out. So let's get some glue. Okay. And just line that up along the fold there. Good. Okay. There. Now that that's there, I can take the smaller die. Actually, I think that was, no, that's that die, this die. Okay. And we're going to layer it. Now, this is where you'll want a piece of tape or something to hold it exactly in place, because if it moves, you're going to get a lopsided frame. But let's see what this looks like. Okay. Go. And of course, excuse me, save these pieces because these will be great accents for a card. Just like that. You definitely want to save those. All right, so put that back there. All right, isn't that cool? Now I've got a little frame around it versus this one where I have no frame. But I think it's still going to look good. You can still see inside. All right. Now, I said this one you fold forward and then back. This one you fold back and then forward. So fold back and then forward. And fold back and fold forward. Now, we are going to glue these two pieces together. Let me get this out of the way. Whoops, come here. Okay. Now remember, if you decide to create one of these, or anything you create really, be sure you are a member of Kristina's Creative Stampers. Go over there and post a picture of your creation. We would love to see how you interpret this window box card and see what stamp sets you choose and what designer paper you choose. All right, you definitely want to use glue. It just makes things so much easier because you can wiggle it around and get it all over you. Awesome. All right, I'm going to let that sit there and dry while I work on my water. Okay, when you use these dies right here, okay, it is going to cut out a negative and a positive. Okay, so there is the, I keep getting stuck on the words, Summer Splash watery paper. And then the Pretty Peacock, you can barely see it, but it's under there, but it does not have the holes. This is the one with the holes, and then this is the wave. So in other words, this went right there. Do you see how that went right there? So instead of cutting more things, I'm just going to use the opposite pieces for this card. All right, so you're kind of making two cards at once. Now, I like having the holes in the back. I don't know, it just looks like that's where they should be. So we're just going to put a little glue here. All right. I don't want to cover up my holes, my splashes, but I do want it to be straight. Sometimes lining it up on the grid helps my eye see the lines better. Yeah. Okay, that looks good. And we need to trim it at 4 1/4, so it goes all the way across. So let me grab this. Oops. My lid on. 4 1/4 right there. And then I also need to trim this down. Actually, I can just do that with snips. It'd be easier. And I may even want it less. I may want it thinner, but we'll see. Okay, so now we've got that. And that's going to go on there like that. Oh, that looks so cool. Isn't that cool? Then to give it some color down here, because it's looking kind of like a lot of stuff there, we're going to put this pink there. And I'm going to cut a 3/4 inch strip off of here. Actually, half an inch was too small. 3/4 looks too big. So we're going to go with 5/8. How's that sound? 5/8, a good happy medium. Yeah. Not too thick, not too thin. Oh, but I do need to trim it down. So the card is 4 1/4 all the way across. I'm going to cut it down to 3 1/4. So I have, no, 3 I want 1/4 inch on both sides. So 3 3/4. That's what I want. There we go. All right, now that I have that on there, and that will go there. Okay, got everything going. We need to go ahead and do all the rest of our stamping and cutting. So let's go ahead and cut out our sailboat. So we have the boat, and then we have the sails. They also have a little miniature one too, the boat and the sails. Now this empty one, that cuts the stamp out, or it cuts out the embossed sailboat, this big one, the clouds and the birds. Okay. I want a wooden boat. Now I used gray paper, a gray boat, but it's kind of faded. You can't really see it. So I thought maybe I'd get some brown wood. Here we go. The Country Woods paper. Let me grab that. And oh, look, this is cool looking wood, but I think I'd have the same problem. It would just fade away. So, oh, here's some nice brown wood though. Oh, that looks great. We'll use this. Okay, so we're going to use this piece for our boat right there. It's going to be a nice wooden boat. And then we'll cut the pink sails with that. So let me snip off a piece of this here. And not flower sails. No, that's not what I want. This is our In Color Designer paper pack, 6x6 paper pack. That's where I got that from. I am looking for the plaid. Ah, here it is. Okay, and I just need a little piece right here. So I just put my little die there and just cut around it. There. Yep. All righty. Put that down and then run through the cutting machine. I love our cut and emboss machine. It's so easy. Like I said, it's like butter. It's just so easy. All right, come here, sails. We got our sails and we got our boat. Hope our boat is stuck inside. There we go. Oh, that's a nice boat. Now, careful. The mass is like paper thin, is like a hair. It's not even a string. So be careful with that. Now, this triangle of the sail glues right on top of this triangle. All right. So that's easy enough. Don't have to worry about that. So you know exactly where it goes. Literally goes right on top. Now you should have a little bit of the mast sticking up at the top. There we go. See it? Barely see it on my black cutting board. I'll show you here in just a sec. Here we go. You see it better there? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So there's our little sailing boat. Yeah. The brown, I think, sticks out a little better. And what else do we need? Oh, congratulations. So here is that strip that I cut off of that excess card. And I am going to make this pretty skinny. So I'm going to try to stamp as close to the edge as I can. Get it straight. The thicker your sentiment, the more it's going to cover up the water and the frame and everything. So that's why I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as I can there without messing it up. And then, whoops, let's close the ink before we have an ink accident. Awesome. Oh my goodness. So how many of you have this amazing stamp set? I love it. It's so awesome. It makes me want to sail away. No pun intended. Oh, yes, and I did it. Okay, so let me tell you, it was exactly, let me move it over here so I can do my eights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sixteenths. 7 sixteenths. Okay, let me get my snips here. There we go. And there. Awesome. Okay. Now, let's put it all together and we are done. Now, don't forget Monday night, we have Monday night stamping. Okay. And Wednesday, we have card challenge. So you don't want to miss out on those. Let's go ahead and fold this baby. Okay, that is not wanting to fold. You know, I should have used my bone folder first. Hold on. It's still okay. I still got it. So it does fold and go inside a card easily. Now this piece is going to go right here. Whoops. Okay. Looking a little crooked. Whoops, not that much. There. Looks good. And then the congratulations I'll put up on dimensionals. I had my dimensionals. What did I do with them? Here they are. All right. Tweezers. Three. Okay. And also, if you're getting value out of these videos, if you enjoy watching Funfold videos, love to have a thumbs up. But more, I would love for you to share it with your crafty friends. The more we get the word out there, the more people want to join in. Love to see as many people. Usually this is a live, Friday morning live, but I am out of town this weekend, so I did a pre-recorded. I do that occasionally. But I never want to leave you without a fun fold. Okay, so now we're going to put that little guy right there in the water. Okay, and then a wee bit of glue down here. Awesome. I love making cards. I hope, like I said, I hope you enjoyed today's fun fold and that you will try it. And like I said, if you do, please go over to Kristina's Creative Stampers and let's see what you did. We'd love to see it. Okay, there we go. Congratulations. So it sits up on the tabletop like that. Really cool. You can see the embossed sailboat inside. You could even take a blending brush and do some stuff with that. You put some twine down here, some bling, all kinds of fun stuff. This is a really awesome set available in the shop, stampinup.com.